The UFC rankings are still out. This is part 2 of the International Fight Week wrap-up rankings report. I'm Matt Parrino.
I'm Forrest Griffin. Let's talk about fighting. Just talk about fighting.
We do that here. So Brock Lesnar returns UFC 200. The stage was huge, and the Beast delivered. He appears at number 8 in the rankings. I mean, Forrest didn't think he should have been ranked going into this one in the top 15. I thought he should have. Former heavyweight champion, pretty good, and he proved it. I mean, nobody does that to Mark Hunt, right?
Nobody except that Stipe Miocic guy. But that guy is champ, so yeah, good point.
Lesnar, I mean, what do you think about the performance? I mean, he appears at number 8.
Good. I thought it was a great performance. He did a good job with his giant hands, punched him on the face and the ground and stuff. I just would, I'm just concerned that he comes in like a part-timer that he is, whoops some ass, and now he's just gonna go home. Brock.
I didn't get the vibe that it's a part-time situation, because as he said in the post-fight press conference, Brock Lesnar does what Brock Lesnar wants to do. He looked to be having a lot of fun in there.
I love it. It's true. It's true. I love that. You do you, Brock.
But seriously, I mean, he looked great. He delivered. I mean, Hunt's a tough guy. Does he fit in, in the upper echelon of this division?
Yeah, he does. It's the heavyweight division. Come on, there's like 9 good guys in the heavyweight division. He's one of them, for sure.
Speaking of star power, let's talk about an up-and-comer, Derrick Lewis. He recorded his 4th straight win, took out Roy Nelson. Somewhat of a controversial decision. I had him 2-1 on my scorecard, only because in this day and age, if you're going to take somebody down, you better do something with that takedown. Derrick Lewis landed 51 significant strikes, controlled a lot of the action on the feet, didn't have a problem with the decision, could have gone either way, but let's talk about Lewis. I don't care what you thought about that fight, because I know you like Roy Nelson.
I mean, Roy Nelson's my friend, but Derrick Lewis was obviously trying to win the fight. And, you always got to give a guy a lot of credit for that.
And finally, if you look in the heavyweight division, take a look at how the rankings are looking. You got Alistair Overeem challenging for the title, Stipe Miocic. You got Cain Velasquez, who was absolutely dominant against Travis Brown.
Yes, he looked very good.
Thoughts? Give us while you're there.
I mean, thoughts is that, look at that. He learned how to do a spinning heel kick. Good for him.
Cain wants a title shot, but maybe we should run things back with him and Fabrizio Verdum, who will be looking for a dance partner if he gets past Ben Rothwell.
I mean, yeah, that's a good option. We'll see. I mean, that might be Ben Rothwell, Verdum. If Verdum wins that, he might already be queued up to fight for the belt.
So what about Cain? And what about Verdum? And what about them fighting again? Because I like that better.
I guess a lot of people want them to fight again at a different altitude. So if people will pay to see it, we'll put it on.
Will Brooks makes his UFC debut. Didn't get the finish, looked pretty good, took the fight kind of on short notice. He makes his debut at number 12 in the rankings.
I'll tell you what, Ross Pearson looked good. It was a very close fight. Tough fight for me to judge. I like Ross a lot, but Will Brooks is here. No easy fights in the UFC. It's like when the champ came and, oh, hey, Cowboy's your first fight. There are really no easy fights, especially at 155.
Speaking of the new champ, Eddie Alvarez, he took out Rafael Dos Anjos, looked great doing it. What do you think about RDA here? Was this just an off night for the champ, or?
No, it wasn't an off night at all. RDA was winning the fight until he was losing the fight. He got clipped with a nice straight right hand on the button. Alvarez did a great job of swarming, not letting him recover, and now he's the champion. RDA looked good until he didn't. So there's nothing big. This is MMA. Sometimes you get clipped in the chin with a punch and your body says, whoa.
RDA moves down 1 spot. He's now number 2 behind Khabib Nurmagomedov, your favorite name in the UFC, and someone that you said you gave a little flack to last week, and some commenters did not like it on YouTube. They said that you're underrating Khabib Nurmagomedov. Explain yourself. He's above RDA now, the champ.
I mean, he beat RDA, but he didn't beat RDA. He did finish his last fight, and he looked good, but he fought the kid that was on like 3 days' notice. He was gone a long time, and I always say about absence, it's not personal. He just hasn't had a lot of quality wins recently because he's been injured. Maybe this is the time now he's going to do this for us.
This is the time now. Kelvin Gastelum looked great. The striking on point. He moves up 6 spots to number 6 at welterweight, taking out Johnny Hendricks, the former champ, who's in a little bit of a tailspin now. But let's start with Kelvin. He looked good. What's the future looking like for Kelvin?
People have always talked about Kelvin Gastelum's upside. He's a tough guy to fight. He's got a good chin. He's got a lot of tools. Maybe he's the guy of the future. I don't know.
Maybe a potential champion. And Forrest actually has a little tidbit, a little stat, a Forrest stat. Why don't you throw it on him?
So, myself, basically no winner of the Ultimate Fighter has ever retained the championship. Bisping, it's up to you. Myself, I won. I lost to Rashad. He immediately lost to Machida. Matt Serra lost to GSP. Carla Esparza lost her first title defense against Joanna Jędrzejczyk. Bisping's the only champion from Tough to
have a chance to retain his title.
TJ Dillashaw, if you're, hey, well, he did not win the show. He was not a Tough champion.
So what you're saying here, let me wrap this all up in a nice little bowl for you. Forrest Griffin planning his 2017 comeback to win the title and then retain the title.
Yeah, no.
John Jones, Daniel Cormier, Alexander Gustafsson, good luck.
Yeah, sounds horrible.
As always, go to UFC.com for the complete rankings, which is going to change the week of Fight Night Chicago. After that event, the rankings are going to start coming out on Wednesdays. So make sure you check out the rankings on Wednesdays going forward after Chicago.
I don't even know what you're talking about. Literally, like, how much do you love rankings? Like, this is just weird.
We don't tell you a lot of stuff.
I like them, but I don't even know what you're talking about.